Hello and welcome to the shed. For this one, we need to go inside. Well, I haven't gone all at market. I'm inside the cabin. We've got to get some more work done ready for the coming winter. This time, it's sorting out this thing. It's time to do the stove maintenance. I've got to clean the chimney out. What we're dealing with is this door. This door's got to come off because the rope gasket on the other side has gone. So the door's off the stove. And I'm just cleaning it out into the ash pan just like you normally would, and then we'll start breaking the stove down so as we can get the rod in with the sweeping brush of the chimney. Started getting the rest of the ash out of the stove. I've got a special hoover for this. Don't use a normal one because it'll clog up and start blowing ash into the room. This is a special hoover for this job. It's a fireplace stove cleaning hoover. So we just started hoovering everything out. That's starting to look clean. I've labelled the bricks left, right and right. That one has got a crack in the back, but behind there is the hole for the chimney. And if I was to put a new brick in, it certainly cracks straight away. So I'm not too concerned about that at all. There's a procedure for dismantling the stove. First you have to take one of these fire bricks out. I'll take the left one out. Then the baffle plate that's up above. That lets you get that out, and then we can take the rest of the bricks out, finish off hoovering round, and then get the brush up the chimney. The device we're going to use for cleaning out the chimney is called the Chimney Typhoon, and this thing is great. It's so easy to do. You have all the rods come with it. You attach one end into a drill. So we have the cleaning head that spins round, and the rods are flexible. You just keep attaching different rods. You have a ball end system that connects into these holes and locks in. And you have one end that goes into your drill. Right, I've got a plastic dust cover sheet over the stove to stop some of the dust coming out. Don't ever really get much. And the first rod with the brush end is up the chimney and round the bend and ready to start taking the attachments. So we've got the last of the rods on. And now we're just doing the last pass up the chimney, I hope. So it's as simple as that. Move it backwards and forwards. Until you feel it stop. We've stopped, so now I'm at the top of the chimney. Can't go any further. So back it all out, nice and carefully. That's the stove completely cleaned out. Just got to assemble it, reassemble it. First we'll put the fire bricks back in, except for that one. Then the baffle, and then the last fire brick. You have to do it that way or you won't get the baffle in. And for documentation purposes, we'll just document the date that we're doing this. Hey Google, what is the date today?
It's Friday, the 18th of October 2024.
Right, so that's the stove all clean. All done for another year. That'll get us through the winter, and I'll clean it next year. A bit behind with it this year. I read the instructions. The glue for the stove rope gasket goes off after 15 minutes. They say that you can hang your door, use the stove because the heat of the stove will finish curing the glue. So hence the door's back on. And the gasket's a nice snug fit. I just had to adjust the door latch a little bit because obviously now the door's a lot tighter with the new gasket on, and it wouldn't close on the setting it was on, so just opened it up a little bit. And now it's making a really nice tight seal. Just have to give it a little bit of a push to close it, and that's okay. I'm happy with that. Job done. As you can see, Rocky's really pleased that I've done it. He's quite happy with things. Aren't you, boy? Rocky? He's a good boy. And Mrs. Summerhouse is so happy that she's trying to jump out the window. One thing I always forget, which I've just done, is clean the stove glass. Mrs. Summerhouse is still trying to jump out the window. And Rocky's still happy about the whole thing. That's the chimney all swept, stove maintenance done, stove's been inspected, thoroughly cleaned out. The gasket's been changed on the door that was leaking. That was no big deal, really. I'll be doing a follow-up video on that, showing you how to change the rope on your stove door. Yeah, it's very important to get your chimney swept so your stove performs at its best, most efficient during the winter. Also, you don't want a chimney fire due to a build-up of soot and creosote. So it is important. If you can't do it yourself, get somebody in to do it. But I recommend having a go at yourself with the Chimney Typhoon system. It's so easy. I used to have the conventional system with the brush. It was always hard to get round that bend, initial bend. Not so with the Chimney Typhoon. It does a thorough job because it scours all the way up and all the way down. So you can do as many passes as you want. And you can pick them up on eBay. They're quite cheap. I think you can get them for just over 40 quid, depending on how many rods you want.